In the 1980s, New Zealand went through one of the biggest economic shake-ups in our history. It was called rogernomics, named after the Labour Finance Minister Roger Douglas, and it changed the country in ways we're still dealing with today, mostly for the worse. Before rogernomics, and neoliberalism in general, New Zealand definitely had problems, but we also had strong public services, affordable housing, stable jobs, and a government that actually tried to look after people. What rogernomics did was take all of that and flip it on its head. The basic idea was simple. The market should run everything. So the government slashed regulations, cut taxes for the wealthy, and sold off huge amounts of public assets, just like the current government is doing. Rail, electricity, banks, airlines, things that generations of New Zealanders had built up, were sold off to private companies, often at bargain prices. At the same time, thousands of public sector workers were laid off. Factories closed, whole towns lost their main employers almost overnight, and in many regions, especially outside the big cities, people went from stable work to nothing, and the new quote-unquote flexible labour market really just meant lower wages and less security. Rogernomics also stripped away protections that kept prices fair. Once supermarkets, power companies, and key industries were fully commercialised, they could charge whatever they wanted, and they did. The cost of living rose, but wages could not keep up. Inequality exploded. Before the 1980s, New Zealand was one of the most equal countries in the developed world. After rogernomics, it became one of the most unequal. A small group got very rich, while many families struggled to afford basic needs. This is a gap that has never really closed. The public service was carved up, turned into business units, and told to focus on efficiency instead of people. That's where a lot of our current problems come from. Our healthcare is stretched thin, public transport and infrastructure is underfunded, and state housing has been neglected for decades. And the saddest part is this wasn't something New Zealanders asked for. It wasn't in Labour's campaign. It was introduced quickly, without a real mandate, and framed as the only possible option. But it wasn't. It was a political choice, and it reshaped the whole country. Although Roger's term as finance minister ended in 1988, his work was continued shortly after by a new finance minister, Ruth Richardson of the National Party in 1992. Her reign was affectionately known as Ruthanasia. As Roger Douglas found that the Labour Party shifted away from his harsh brand of neoliberalism, he left the party and founded ACT. I really want to stress this point. The man who destroyed our economy was the founder of ACT. The majority of our current economic and social problems were caused by ACT party policy. Today, when we look at high rents, low wages, struggling families, and communities left behind, we're looking at the consequences of those decisions. Rogernomics broke the idea that the economy should serve people. Instead, it turned people into something to serve the economy. If we want to rebuild Aotearoa New Zealand into a fair, secure, dignified place to live, we have to recognise that the damage was political, and that the solutions will be political too. Rogernomics didn't just happen, and undoing it is possible.